Hey guys, welcome back to my art channel. So for today's video, I'm gonna be showing you a manual render of a bedroom design I made of the Bohemian style. This video will mainly be a process time-lapse tutorial on how I render this project. So I used these materials and these color swatches, the highlighter, the pastel, specifically for the pink ones, and then the white ones for some highlights. And then for my markers, I mainly use Touch 5, Touch 10, and Touch New markers, which I bought on Shopee. So if you're interested in this process video, then keep on watching. Hey guys, so first things first, I grabbed my watercolor paper from Canson. And then these are my pencils na I use to distinguish my vanishing points, which is very important when it comes to drawing yung mga perspectives. Although it's not seen on the video, I'm actually using a T-square right under, and this is important for yung mga vertical lines na gagawin mo. But you can opt to use 2-point perspective din, which doesn't really require yung T-square. But right now, I'm using the T-square para mas madali i-drawing at itapos since I am on a deadline. Right now, I am doing some guidelines for yung mga furnitures, and usually what I do muna is I create boxes. Parang guide ko siya to form yung mga shapes like the bed, kunyari rectangle, or like yung side table na square muna siya na parang cube, tapos I later do the details. So since my theme is Bohemian is all about flowiness and fabrics and texture, I drew some blankets and carpets and mga furniture that represents boho, like rattan furniture, ceiling pendants na parang bamboo-ish, mga plants, mga ceiling decors, wall decors, mga chuchus, yeah. Well, anyways, this is the final sketch na I made. As you can see, marami talaga siyang furniture, mga anik-anik na represents boho, since Bohemian kasi is a style na represents parang expressiveness and parang love for mga material things and being very sentimental with the objects na you keep. So as you can see with my design, marami talagang mga furniture, mga objects na the person or like the client might have, which in this case is yung Golden Girls. This is the final sketched version. Hello again. So for a little intermission, I actually have a giveaway going on. This was the video right here, and it's gonna last until before August, before the start of next school year. And I have a lot of prizes. As you can see, there are 5 winners. One is a watercolor set with watercolor pad. The other one is some pearlescent watercolors, also with a watercolor pad. The next one is 500 pesos. Then the next one is 1,000 pesos. And then the grand prize that I have, portable drafting table right here. So if you're curious on entering my giveaway, all you have to do is follow the mechanics and be sure to stay tuned to all my social media so you will be notified on other updates, and yeah, for more updates. And now back to the video. And now I am going to outline it with my Unipin markers. So usually, ang mga ginagamit ko na marker is yung 0.1, 0.3, and yung 0.005 for some texture. Pero right now, I'm gonna be starting with yung 0.1 to mainly map out yung main features of the room, like yung edges, yung ceiling, yung furnitures that are nearest. And then from there, I will just parang re-outline and parang darken my strokes para mas mukhang thick siya, since minsan I'm just too lazy to switch yung mga markers ko. Yun na lang ginagawa ko. But I feel like it's still better to utilize all mga marker thicknesses para mas mukhang realistic. But I really recommend yung using yung 0.005 ata yun for some textures. Pero if you're like super galing na mamaw, you can like use yung colored markers itself to draw the material itself. And another tip na I want to say is siguro you need to be very very confident and very parang carefree-ish when it comes to drawing yung mga furniture and actually drawing in general. Kasi parang when you're confident in what you do, di masyado magiging big deal yung mga mistakes or mga crooked lines na ginawa mo. Cause di ba nga sabi ni Bob Ross, like parang happy mistakes? Happy mistakes ba yun? I'm not sure if yun yung pero yeah, happy mistakes na lang. Because if you look at my lines and if you look at my curves din sa mga drawings, hindi naman siya perfect. And if you kasi constantly overthink about making things super perfect, edi di ka talaga matatapos. Because if you're a perfectionist when it comes to drawing, mahirap talaga like umabot sa deadline. Lalo na you're in architecture na sobrang bilis talaga ng allotted time na they give you. So what I suggest you do is really to practice and try to be more confident in every stroke and every parang drawing na you make, because it's actually part of art yung mga small mistakes na you make. So yeah, it's very important talaga na you be confident in all of the drawings and the renders that you do. Pero it's also important din na siguro yung practice na you do before trying things out. Kasi, I mean, di rin pwede yung overconfident na to the point na baka masira naman yung gawa mo. You know what I mean? So, right now, I am still using my 0.1 as you can see to make all yung mga details. Pero I really recommend you use yung mga iba-ibang mga marker thickness para to get that variance in parang texture and yung nearness and yung how do you say that? Yung nearness and farness ng mga objects and furniture. So right now, as you can see, very like one line lang talaga yung mga furniture ko, and that's a mistake on my end siguro, and something na I can improve on like later on. But gusto ko lang matapos honestly yung plate ko, so binilisan ko na lang yung gawa ko. So this is me using my 0.05 for my wood textures and yung mga details sa carpets and dun sa cloth, since bohemian nga siya. And I also use the 0.05 markers to like give this wallpaper effect. Tapos what you can do after pag tapos ka na is you use your kneaded eraser to erase yung mga pencil marks na ginawa mo. So this is my final outlined output. So ito yung mga furniture, mga wallpaper, mga bed, and choo-choos. Yeah. And as you can see, di naman talaga perfect yung mga furnitures na ginawa ko. It's very parang sketchy siya, almost. But to the point na you get the idea across na this is my floor plan kasi. Tapos this is my yung mga inspirations. And ito yung mga theme mood board na ginawa namin ng friend ko. So it's also important talaga na you also make a mood board or like a pegboard on what you want to do, or like what you have in mind, or like what you have parang envisioned for the drawing. So right now I gathered all my markers that I want to use. Tapos I'm going to use a very light na blue na I will use for the windows, as you can see here, parang ganyan. And I actually made this on a previous video na I made, which is this video right here. If you want to watch that video, you can watch it also after this, or if you wanna pause muna and watch that muna, that's also fine. But this is me rendering the walls and the windows like a really light washed color. Tapos as you can see, towards the end, towards sa likod, mas dark yung mga colors na ginamit ko to like parang portray na mas far siya, so dapat mas dark siya, parang ganon. And right now, I'm mainly doing yung mga dark shadows sa floor area. And right now, I am doing my furnitures like a little bit dark than what I like imagined it would be. Pero since nalagay ko na, I think there's no more turning back to it. And then, I used the Faber-Castell pastel highlighters. And for this one, I used yung pink one since I imagined the owner of this room to be si Rose from the Golden Girls, and she's the old girl na white, si Betty White ata. Betty White ba yung name niya? I think so. But she died na recently. Sad. So, we mainly choose pink because she's a very loving character, and we imagined yung room niya is very girly and very pink and very cutesy, parang ganon. Thus the pastel pink color choice. Pero we made sure to incorporate other colors like brown, yung orange, yung peach colors, some vegetation since bohemian nga yung parang theme namin. And I also incorporated yung red since she is known to be the very loving character sa the Golden Girls. And what I did naman for the lighting is actually very non-common yung technique ko, pero I used yellow highlighter to parang flash light or like warm colors para to represent na may ilaw siya, ganun. And now this me drawing yung title block that will contain the label of your drawing. So in this case, it's the bedroom interior perspective scaled in NTS or no true scale. And this one naman is the dining area interior perspective na I made a video on. You can check it out on I'll put the link in the description box below. So I used the kneaded eraser to erase the pencil marks and then do final touches sa bedroom interior perspective. My favorite part of the whole process is doing the shadows. As you can see dun sa window area, it casted a shadow down sa my curtain area. And it really has like a nice effect na parang it casted sunlight towards the room. And I used the white ballpoint pen naman to create highlights for the drawings. So this is the final look of the plate. Or not really plate, it's just an exercise to better represent my or like showcase my ideas that I have in mind. The little white marks and the shadow marks I made were made using mga darker colors, and with the help of yung mga white ballpoint pen. I use the Signo Ball white pen, I think, na pwede siya mabili sa bookstore or like National Bookstore. But yeah, this is the final output that I made. If you're curious to watch the dining hall perspective of this one I made, you can also check out the video I have in my description box. And you can also check out the final digitalized version of the whole condominium SketchUp render. So that's it for the video. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe, and see you on the next one. Bye!